Hey, welcome to another proven sales letter breakdown video. And today I have something really interesting for you because it's a sales letter that sells arguably the world's most boring product ever. So it's estate planning, which is like when someone who has a lot of wealth dies, they leave a lot of money and assets and various things like property and stocks and, all these things behind. And then the IRS or tax authorities come in to tax that specific thing. And with smart estate planning, you can basically optimize these things. But as you might imagine, like, this is something really boring. It's a very niche topic. It's usually made out of law stuff and like finances and stuff like that. So most people would be pretty appalled by this. So that's where David Deutsch comes in, one of the legendary A-list copywriters who actually wrote this promotion for Boardroom. And I've covered several Boardroom promotions before, and the reason for that is because Boardroom had the best copywriters. Martin Edelston, the founder of Boardroom, realized that if you manage to attract the best copywriters alive and you pay them boatloads of money, they're gonna stick with you and they're gonna consistently write winning promotions for you. And that's what he did. He attracted all the best talent, and David Deutsch was some of those copywriters. He's still working today. He still collaborates and coaches people and copy chiefs people in various projects, but this was a cool promotion written by him. That's a great example of how to sell an uber boring product by creative copy and by coming up with a nice big idea that's a little bit different. So let's just go through this so that you also get a better idea of what's inside. So the headline goes, "What every wife wishes her husband knew about estate planning and the IRS hopes you never find out." So this wouldn't necessarily work so well today because like there's more gender equality, but decades ago this was super relevant because in 90% of cases or even more, people with wealth, they were males, and it was a real problem for them that if they die, like, what happens with their family, with their children, with their grandchildren, with their wives, like what's gonna happen? And this concern was also shared by their wives. Okay, so this was a really like a true concern. But the thing with estate planning is that most people just hush it away. They say that it would be nice to have, but I'm just gonna like ignore it for now, and maybe someday I'm gonna do it. But it's kind of like with if you do life insurance or something like that, because like nobody really thinks about it until the unthinkable happens, and then suddenly the worldview of the whole family gets turned upside down. And that's what David Deutsch realized here, is that in order to hook these people emotionally and in order to connect with them, you need a good story, like a twist in the knife style nightmare story of what happened to like a certain like a famous politician. And that's what he actually used here, US Senator Robert Kerr from Oklahoma. So I'm gonna read the story to you in a minute, but a few other notes I want to take before doing that is that this is a very good example of a strong story lead. And again, I've covered various lead types before, even story leads. You might want to check out my earlier videos. I'm gonna leave a link to the whole playlist of these breakdown videos under this video in the description section. Go ahead and check it out because there's like dozens and dozens of proven sales letter breakdowns already inside there. And if you want to like learn more about copywriting leads, which are super important for high converting copy, then you should definitely check out those videos. Also, notice how as we go through this, like the language itself is so super easy to read, super approachable. The brand behind this, which is Martin Edelston, like the guy who is apparently writing these things to the reader seems like a very approachable, very go-to person, okay? So that's why it's important to have very simple language as a copywriter, even if you're talking about very complex things like estate planning, because people don't have time to read your bullshit. Like, if they start getting confused at all, they're gonna bounce because other things are going on in their lives, okay? So you just can't allow yourself to like bore them with anything or confuse them with anything, because then they're gonna bounce. That's it. Another cool thing I want to mention is that the headline itself is a fascination. And once again, I've created several videos about fascinations before. Go ahead, check it out, because it's a foundational skill in copywriting. And if you get better at fascinations, then your entire copy will improve. Suddenly, it's gonna become much more easy to like come up with a good headline, with a good hook, with creating desire and curiosity for your product, for various aspects of it. And it's really, really important. So let's just jump into it. It says, "Dear friend, when U.S. Senator Robert Kerr of Oklahoma died, he left an estate that was valued at $20 million. So notice how we're jumping right into the action with this story. And the way that you can also jump right into the action is to smash that like button right now, because the only way for YouTube algorithm is to make these videos more and more widespread is for you to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, to comment under it, or share it with others. These social signals really help me out a lot, because my mission is to get these copywriting breakdowns out to as many interested people as possible. So now that the segue is over, let's continue with this one. The IRS immediately demanded $9 million from his astonished heirs. But market conditions at the time meant they would have to sell various stocks at real estate at a substantial loss just to pay the sudden estate taxes. So notice how we immediately jump into the action, and there's immediate pain. You know, we see and feel the pain that's mentioned here. We have a common enemy, which is the IRS, who is just like a hawk, not like a hawk, like a vulture. Like as you know, someone dies, they descend upon the corpse even while it's warm. And sorry about this, like maybe it's not the best example, but it's very visceral, and that's like one of the things that you want people to feel is for them to feel urgency, because as I said, estate planning isn't really a topic that people do right now. It typically is the topic that they kind of say, okay, you know, later, I'll do it later. But if they do that, they never buy, and you don't want that as a copywriter. So suddenly, this whole story turns into a nightmare story, because the IRS demanded $9 million of the $20 million estate, and $20 million, wow, that's a lot of money, especially in 2000 when this was written, and then demanding half of it. Wow. So the story continues. They liquidated what they could, but could raise only $3 million. So they had to borrow the other $6 million. You read that correctly. They had to borrow. So I like this, how David is contextualizing stuff here. It's like this little thing makes the story so much more effective for the reader, because they're reading this in this belief. It's like, how is it possible that if someone leaves 20 million behind for their heirs, like the family has to borrow? Like, what? And then we continue. In the end, most of the estate went to interest payments and the IRS, not to the needy and very frustrated heirs. They went into debt. So this part, I think it subverts expectations, and it kind of triggers that emergency bell in our target audience's minds, because they're gonna start feeling like, oh shit, like this is real. Something like that could happen. I gotta take like really notice what this guy is saying in this letter. So then we continue. If this can happen to the 20 million fortune of a U.S. senator and long-standing member of the Senate Finance Committee, you and I are certainly fair game. You just know that for every high-profile case like this, thousands of smaller fish are getting fried. It makes sense, right? Like, it highlights that you, the reader, are at risk. What's more, the recent massive change to the tax laws have created new pitfalls and made some commonly used strategies obsolete. So if you have a will, it is now very important that you review it as soon as possible. You also need to evaluate, this and that. So I like how David is proactively building more and more urgency and more importance for this whole topic. It builds the case just like a lawyer, and that's why I think he was the one who said that good copywriters are just like lawyers. So they build up a case and it's logical, it makes sense, it has a reason why, okay? So he starts building up the case on why you should focus on this. And at the same time, he also builds up a case of why this is a new opportunity. So he says, but the good news is that these same changes have also opened up many new loopholes and new opportunities to pass on every penny of your wealth exactly as you see fit. So this is the new opportunity of how you can basically save more money and make sure that your money gets to the right places. And then we continue. Listen, if you truly and fervently want your hard-earned money to live on to protect and provide for your loved ones without the insane interference and delay from the courts, creditors, and disgruntled relatives, all people that our target audience, I wouldn't say hate, but like fear or like is annoyed by, and without the government grabbing the lion's share, you need to take a look at the Encyclopedia of Estate Planning. And today I've made it easy for you to do that cost-free. So we get a product reveal in the lead part of this sales letter itself, and we also get a mention that this is free, so it's going to be an irresistible offer. So this is still the lead, this is the headline, and this is still the lead of the sales letter, which basically the aim of the lead is to build desire for this, build curiosity of like why the reader should read more. So basically the aim of the lead is to basically sell the idea of reading the sales letter itself. So the cool thing about copy and also the cruel thing about copy, depending on where you're at, is that you can either lose people very easily or you can get people interested very easily. It all depends on your lead. It's like a double-edged sword, and it's all or nothing in this sense, and that's why you need to make sure that your lead is on point, and that's why you need to check out the videos that I just mentioned. So then we get a little authority buildup and mission statement from the face of this brand, Martin Edelston, and we just have something simple like, I'm Martin Edelston, founder and publisher of Bottom Line Publications. I've published over 100 books that help people live better, longer, and wealthier. That's what you want sometimes, okay? So just a quick little, who are you and why should I trust you? And then we have like some benefits, that are named here. All benefits that are important to our target audience, like how you can keep your family safe in the future, how you can protect them, stuff like that. And then we get more information about the Encyclopedia of Estate Planning, including elements that qualify more readers. So David says, the Encyclopedia of Estate Planning is must reading for anyone who wants to one day pass anything to anyone. So anyone who wants to pass anything to anyone. So this pretty much qualifies all people who are in our target market for this specific promotion. And we get a bunch of benefits, including instant gratification benefits. So it's like, it's one thing to quantify how good it will be to like make more or like save more money when your heirs inherit your fortune in 20 years or something, but it's also a good idea to give them something right now, like how you can even optimize your taxes right now so you actually retain more money or make more money in the long run. Okay, so then we get like an overview of the key benefits, and these are benefits that are probably the most important for our target audience. So first of all, we have how to pay 0 estate taxes, and then we have a little description of how to actually do it. This is important because obviously they have wealth, so they are interested in paying less taxes. Nobody likes to pay taxes. Then we have that all your wishes are carried out. Another, I think it's an important benefit for our target audience because they are afraid that maybe their wishes, their wills won't be carried out as they would like to. How to prevent squabbles and misunderstandings. Again, another big pain point probably between these inheritance type of things. Then the fourth one is make sure you and your loved ones have sufficient income. I think that this is one of the number one fears that our target audience has, because imagine them, making a lot of money and then basically retiring but not having enough money to live comfortably. Like, what can they do at the age of 70? It's not like they can easily like restart or start another business or something like that. So it's very important for them to like have enough money for retirement. And whenever you're writing financial things, this is a benefit that is worth highlighting, because it's important to a lot of people. How to cut your federal income taxes this year. This is the right now component. This is the instant gratification component. And then, we have also the protect your interests and your family's financial well-being. So this is, it taps into the fear once again that, hey, what if your family won't have enough money after you're gone because of like some crazy tax situation or something like that. Okay, then we get a little very personal mission statement from Martin Ederson, like how he truly believes that this is like the best way to actually protect your family. And then we get the first soft call to action, in a sense that he says, like David Deutsch in essence says, that's right, I don't want you to send a penny until you're absolutely convinced the Encyclopedia of Estate Planning can help you and your family achieve true financial security. I want you to see for yourself how the hundreds of wealth-building strategies, loopholes, and options can help you, for example. So this just provides a little reason why Martin Ederson is helping the reader, and it starts building up desire for the product itself. And then we get into Fascinations. Again, Fascinations, please make sure to check the past videos on Fascinations, because they're really super, super important. If you can become a good fascination writer, I mean, your copywriting journey is halfway done almost, because it's you can use it in so many cases, and it cures blank page syndrome, and everything becomes easier if you know how to write good fascinations. Okay, so then we have various types of fascinations. We also have on top of pages some more highlighted fascinations. For example, simple provision in your will could mean a small fortune for your heirs, yet amazingly, most people fail to include it. So you see the benefit part. It's like, hey, your family is gonna have more money, and the curiosity part is like, oh, what's this simple permission, and what is it? Like, why people don't include it? What is it? Do I include it? Do I not include it? Like, what's up with that? And that's why it's powerful. That's why people want to check it out. Or like, let's see another one. Beef up your life insurance coverage at rock bottom cost, even if you don't think you can pass a physical. Page 189. So once again, the benefit is like beef up your life insurance coverage at rock bottom cost. So like basically get more for less, and then even if you don't think you can pass a physical. I guess this is a common objection in this specific target audience. I don't know, I've never written for this specific product or something like this, but I'm guessing this is an objection that they have, and that's why David included this little even if part. By the way, it's a good idea to include these even if parts, because they can make things more powerful. So we have a bunch of fascinations, and then we have another cool nightmare story, okay? Because most of, especially for boardroom or bottom line promotions, you're going to see a lot of fascinations. And even nowadays, if you see the best performing book offers, for example, on ClickBank or something like this, so whenever people are selling books with sales pages or simple information products, you have a lot of fascinations, because you basically just read the book and extract useful information that you think people would be interested in, and then you construct a fascination based on that, and that's pretty much what you want with this. So that's cool, but you want to also break up this thing with like other mini stories from time to time, and this is what we have here. How two states totally devoured a multi-million-dollar estate. make a mistake on your real estate planning or fail to plan altogether, and it could cost your heirs hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this is like, once again, a nightmare story. It could even cause everything you've worked for to go up in smoke, just as the unlucky heirs of John Dorrance, the former head of Campbell's Soup Company. So David Deutsch probably found a high level or a very relevant and interesting news story about this thing, and he immediately saw the connection of how he would be able to use that on the sales letter. But this case study really highlights the problem here, and I think that it really makes people much more interested in learning more about the product and about estate planning itself. And notice how there's also like specific language and slangs that our target audience uses. We have something like the courts agreed, and by the time the bureaucrats were done dividing up the spoils, there was virtually nothing left for those who had hope to provide for. So bureaucrats, dividing up the spoils, these are all very evocative words, and I guess the target audience really likes to use bureaucrats. And then, we have even more twist the knife after this, like how this story gets worse and worse. And then after this, we got the solutions. The solution being the Encyclopedia of Estate Planning, and then snippets from it, like helpful snippets which prevent you from making these crucial mistakes. So think about it. You present a new problem, you agitate it, and then you offer up a solution which helps you avoid the same mistakes as this high-profile guy, John Dorrance, had. Okay, so it's really powerful. And all these fascinations are fear-based. So a couple of good examples: horrible mistake that could accidentally disinherit your own children simply by writing a will the way your parents did. Okay, so wow, I don't want to accidentally disinherit my children. And what's the thing that my parents did? Did I also include it on my own? Like, what is it? I want to know, because this seems and sounds really, really like menacing. The most dangerous sentence in your will. This is another common pitfall that puts everything at the mercy of court-approved administrators who will do what they think best with your money. So once again, for our target audience, the concept of ownership, for example, is very important. So it's like they want to take away your money. Oh, hell no, of course not. So that's what actually motivates them to start feeling rage against the machine, the establishment, the bureaucrats, the government, against Washington, against IRS, something like that. But you always want to tap into some of their already existing fears, and these are probably fears that they usually have. Or this one: joint bank accounts, close them fast and open separate ones, or you'll pay dearly. So this is kind of like a warning. It's like many people probably have joint bank accounts, and then why should I close them fast? Oh shit! Does this apply to me? I have to find out. And the whole thing that makes this whole offer so incredibly appealing is that you can find out this whole information for free. The only thing you have to do is to request for the free book. That's it. Because this is a soft offer. It means that you don't have to pay for it. Like, you can try it out for 14 days and then you either send it back or pay for it. But obviously what most people will do is that they're going to feel like, you know what? I've gotten a lot of value from this, and it's like, I'm going to just pay for it because why not? Or like, even if they don't have the time to check it out, they're going to see that there's so many things in there. It's an encyclopedia at the end of the day, right? And then they're going to be like, maybe it's not so relevant right now, but in a few years it will. So I'm gonna keep it. It's like, it's a book, so it shouldn't really be that expensive. Keep wealth in the family, not with the IRS. I like how this promise it's very straightforward, and it even sounds like a slogan, so I like it. We also have, all these fascinations are sometimes broken up by a few paragraphs of text that kind of acts as a walkthrough, as a guide between them. So you have certain topics to the fascinations, like This one is like how to save on taxes and how to get benefits. This one, after the nightmare story, is fear-based. It's like how to avoid bad things, okay? This one relates to marriage stuff, or like things that relate to your partner, okay? These ones relate to business, like put your employer to work for you and your loved ones. So this one relates to business, or like your career. Then we, after another list of fascinations, we get another cool subhead which says Congress declares the estate tax unconstitutional. If there ever was a tax you can feel perfectly justified in avoiding, it's the estate tax. So I think the reason why David Deutsch included this is because he must have found some objections that people had when they wanted to avoid this estate tax. Or, you know, some people are not really comfortable with it. They don't want to be like tax, I don't know which one is worse, tax evasion or tax avoidance. So I think tax avoidance is bad, and tax evasion is like, it's the optimized version of paying taxes, you know. And I think that many people have a lot of emotional baggage when it comes to this topic, and he just basically wanted to preemptively answer this objection by saying that it's okay to not pay that much estate tax because it's unconstitutional. Like, and then we got a little mini story somewhere that, you know, 3 times before in the past, this tax was abolished in 1802, in 1870, and in 1902. Okay, so it was abolished many times, but like it always came back because the government had to finance a new war or something like that. So it makes sense. It's an interesting thing which gives people value, which is very important in your advertisement, just like Gary Bencivenga always said. And it also acts as like reason why, like it makes sense why it's okay for you to not pay that much estate tax if there's the opportunity to like hack the system, you know, because a lot of people want to hack the system, but they're also afraid of like the tax authorities. They also, some of them are afraid of like ethical type of things, and I think this is one of the reasons why David Deutsch did this. So after this, we get a few paragraphs on how basically Martin Edelstone is trying to help readers become an insider. So he has this persona in all the boardroom or bottom line promotions that, you know, he's like Prometheus. He goes on to the heavens, to the gods, talks with the best experts and authorities, and then brings down the knowledge to the little guy, to you, to the average person, to the layman, okay? And this just builds credibility and authority and likability in Martin Edelstone. So I think it's a cool thing that David included a few references regarding this. And then this is connected once again with a few other fascinations. So he says, don't miss. And then we have a bunch of fascinations, like how to prevent each of your heirs from knowing how much the others got. Prevent ugly scenes with the advice on page 19. Ooh, a big pain point, right? So there's often squabbles between various heirs, between their inheritance. And if you can avoid this, then that's pretty interesting, right? And I really like this bullet or fascination. It says, I think we covered this before, by the way, but it's still good. And it shows that, you know, sometimes if you have a good bullet, you can use it in so many places. So that's why fascination writing. And by the way, fascinations bullets basically the same thing in this context. So horrible mistake that could accidentally disinherit your own children simply by how you write your will. Page 263. Very, very powerful. Then we have some proof and credibility because so David Deutsch is the copywriter who wrote this. Martin Edelstone is the face of the brand. He's like the guru. He's trying to help the reader. But the Encyclopedia of Estate Planning was written by Dr. Robert S. Holtzman. So we have 3 different people here, 3 different like this, sorry. And it's not easy for a copywriter to actually present this in a compelling way, but I think David managed to pull it off. And then this part is dedicated to Dr. Holtzman building up his credibility and acting as proof so that you, as the reader, can trust him. And then we have other benefits like, hey, with this you can do it smarter, you can do this even if. So then we have an objection handling element by saying, by the way, if you've put off doing estate planning because you just haven't had the time, you'll love this feature, you know, a succinct list of conclusions and advice at the end of each chapter. Because, you know, people are busy, especially successful people who have a lot of money. They're busy. They don't have time to like read an entire book about estate planning, you know, but they are interested in the outcomes. They are interested in finding out like what's the best way to actually put all these things into action. And that's why David included here. Then we have other benefits. And I like how we, at the end, we have the ultimate higher level benefit for this target audience, which is one less benefit, if I may. It goes beyond money. It's the peace of mind that only come. Okay. I think there's a typo here. It's the peace of mind that only comes from knowing you've done everything you can to protect the financial security of those you love. Because, you know, ultimately what people want, especially with money-themed things, is the peace of mind. The peace of mind to have financial independence or freedom or security, the peace of mind to, stay healthy and all these things. You know, peace of mind, that's what people actually want. And I think it's really smart that David included this towards the end as well. So then we have another little call to action, and we have a final objection handling plus reason why element by saying that, you know, there's no obligation here. You just like request for the book with a certificate. I like how he calls it free preview certificate. So it's not order form, it's free preview certificate. It sounds official. I really like it. Then we have the sign off, and then as the PS, it's a pretty long PS actually, but we get introduced. So we have once again the offer itself repeated, because many people will, you know, scroll through this and you never know where their eyes are going to land. So maybe it's this page, and that's why it's important to have like specific highlighted bullets or other types of bullets, because you never know which one is going to connect with our target audience. So then we have, as I said, the offer repeated, and then we get introduced to two cool bonuses, also called premiums. So these are things that relate to the core topic itself, estate planning. So free gift one, living trusts, and then we have a cool little overview of it and a few fascinations. And free gift number two, the great book of tax breaks. So again, something that relates specifically to this specific offer, and then a few fascinations, just building desire for it. And at the end, we have an element which kind of like knocks them off the fence, because David says, please remember, both these valuable free gifts are yours to keep no matter what if you return the enclosed, no matter what, even if, I think he wanted to say, even if you return the enclosed free preview certificate by the date marked on it, to the left on your name and address. So basically what he's going for here is to showcase how these bonuses are yours to keep. So there really is nothing to lose with this. So you can get the whole thing for free. You can avoid all the pitfalls. You can gain all the benefits. You even get two cool full bonuses. You only need to do one thing, and is to basically get this free preview certificate and return it. That's it. So it really is an irresistible offer, right? And we even have as this last, little subhead here, we have reply by the date on the enclosed free preview certificate, and I'll send you 2 free gifts that are yours to keep. So this, once again, is for people who are just scrolling through this whole thing. So that's the main promotion, and this is how the envelope look like. Again, very powerful. It says, what every wife wishes her husband knew about estate planning, and the IRS hopes you never find out. So it's nothing super fancy, but sometimes just a little short copy like this can be really, really powerful. Then we have the free preview certificate. It's a very clever way to say order form. We have already everything pre-filled for the person who's receiving this in the mail. and these are basically pre-populated fields, and the reason for this is to minimize steps, so that they have to do as little work as possible in order to get the product. And then we have a value build up here. This looks really cool. It looks like a big book with cool bonuses, nice design, some very important, the most important 3 benefits here. So this just builds more value in people. And then finally we have a little separate insert which has testimonials. So this acts as social proof, because we don't really have that much proof here. Actually, I think the expertness of this letter is in itself proof, because by mentioning all these fascinations, it really gives the aura that the guy who wrote this clearly knows what they're talking about. Okay. And I think that can serve as proof in itself. And we have other like minor proof elements, but like the main proof element probably is these testimonials. So yeah, that's it for this one. It's a little long video. It's longer than what I wanted to make it, but like, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel, because I'm releasing these videos daily, and until I reach 100. That's the new goal now, 100. And that way you'll be the first to know when I release a new one. So thanks again for watching. Kudos to David Deutsch for doing this promotion, and see you in the next one.